6 months. That's how long I waited for my EM3801 Espresso machine to be repaired. Or rather, for a replacement part to arrive from the supplier I purchased it from. Fortunately, the part finally arrived and I was able to replace it. Why did it take so long? How do I replace the group in this coffee machine? Is the EM3801 still worth buying? I'll answer all these questions in this video. Communication with the supplier, who in my case wasn't the factory itself but an intermediary, was excellent during the sales process. Unfortunately, the contact person no longer works for the company, and currently communication with them is a nightmare. I sent the first message regarding the damaged unit on May 26, 2025. It wasn't until July 29, 2025 that I was allowed to pay for my order, which is absurd. Between May and July, communication with the supplier was evasive, trying to convince me I had purchased a silver coffee machine instead of a black one. I had to send screenshots of the previous conversation while the machine was being delivered. The replacement part was shipped in August, and unfortunately, the shipment was lost. I had to constantly request any action from the supplier. The shipment was resent in October and was supposed to be delivered in November. Finally, I received it on December 10, 2025. The supplier in this case is Nanning Zhongpei Hardware. To replace the component, you'll need a Phillips screwdriver, preferably a magnetic one. It's also a good idea to have a screwdriver and bit set, as there are many small screws inside the group that are difficult to remove with a regular screwdriver. An Allen key or bit can also be useful for unscrewing the top cover. To remove the rubber group head gasket, I had to use a flat screwdriver bit to pry it off, but this is risky. You could damage the gasket. To replace the damaged component, I need to partially disassemble the coffee machine. First, I remove the top grill and housing by unscrewing 4 screws. After removing the top housing, I can move on to unscrewing the entire group. It's mounted with 4 screws. It's best to unscrew them with a magnetic screwdriver, as they can easily fall inside the machine, which I don't want. I have to be extremely careful. I first partially unscrew the screws with a screwdriver, then unscrew them by hand, keeping control of them. Once I've removed the 4 mounting screws, I need to remove the 2 screws on the underside of the entire group. These connect the lower element of the group to the upper element. Then I unscrew the screw from the shower screen. Now I can detach parts of the group. At this point, I need to disconnect the cable responsible for the control panel. Once I do this, I can also separate the rubber piece that protects the PCB. I pull the cable out of the black plastic housing of the lower part of the group. Now I need to unscrew the plastic cover that protects the lower part of the group. It's secured with 3 screws made of sheet metal. After removing the plastic cover, I disconnect the water hose. First, I need to unscrew the metal piece that ensures a tight connection. Once unscrewed, I can remove the hose. Now you can see what the damaged group looks like. Now I'll unscrew the white plastic piece that secures the water hose. It has 4 screws. After removing the white part, the spring remains, which can be transferred to the new lower part of the group. The damage to the group is very serious. Unfortunately, the quality of this component is not the best. Such degradation should not occur as a result of using cleaning products designed for espresso machines. I need to be careful with that little O-ring. I'll remove it and save it for later. I'll put that O-ring on the water hose when I reassemble the machine. Now I will put on the white plastic piece and screw it to the new part. Hey, I put a lot of work into this video. Did you enjoy it? If so, consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video. This will help me reach more viewers who might find my content useful. Thank you! As you can see, the new brewing group is made the same as the previous one. It's missing the group gasket, so I'll have to remove it from the old one. This is very difficult and time-consuming. I had to use a flathead screwdriver and apply a lot of force. This can damage the gasket, but in this situation I had no choice. After removing the gasket, I measured it for future reference. The inner diameter is 58 millimeters. The outer diameter is approximately 72 millimeters, and the thickness is 7.5 millimeters. The gasket was dirty, so I washed it. Now, I insert the gasket into the new part of the group and screw on the shower screen. Now, it's time to assemble the EM3801 machine. I put the O-ring back on the water hose. Then I place the hose in the white element and then screw on the metal element that locks the hose. Now, I can partially screw the group back into the espresso machine housing. I'll finish screwing it back in place when I'm sure everything is done correctly. I put on the black plastic cover for the bottom of the group and run the cable through it to the control panel. I screw the cover onto the group, then pull the cable through the hole in the rubber cover of the control panel. Now I need to connect the cable to the control panel and place the rubber cover properly. I attach the upper part of the group to the lower one. I fully tighten the screws securing the group to the coffee machine housing. All I had to do was tighten the two screws from the bottom of the group and put the top cover back on. Once the group was replaced, it was time for some testing. I filled the water tank with fresh water and turned on the coffee machine. I then rinsed the group with water several times and released steam from the steam wand. I also used a blind basket to backflush with water and check for leaks under pressure. Everything works as it should. Many people still ask if the EM3801 is worth buying. I think it's a nice machine and quite advanced for its price. The build quality of the group is actually the only significant drawback of this machine. But there are many interesting machines currently available at a similar price, such as the Mandike MC3 and the Starfish 7110. They seem to be better made, and some of them have an actively heated group. The Mandike has a different heating system, a combined boiler and thermoblock. The EM3801 is an espresso machine that has thermoblocks only, which I wanted when I bought it. So, the EM3801 is still an interesting machine, and if you're interested in thermoblocks only, I think it's still worth buying. You just have to be careful about backflushing. One of my viewers did some research and found several backflushing products on the market that are supposedly safe for the EM3801. An example is the Cafeto Evo. I haven't tested it, so I can't guarantee it's safe. In summary, I finally managed to repair my EM3801. Now I'm planning to sell it because I already have a Bianca. I hope this video helped you make a decision or was just interesting. Thanks for watching and see you soon.